this up and get ground beef. And then right here, I got the extra fat that was on it, and if you guys want, I can show you how to make beef tallow. Here I just start cutting up the fat into smaller pieces, just that way it could help it render a little bit quicker. Alright, now that I cut up the fat, I'll be putting it in the crock pot. And I'm gonna add a cup of water and salt. And then we're gonna put it in the crock pot for 10 hours on low heat. Roughly about every hour or so, I would be coming and just stirring it a bit, just checking up on it. And then I came back again about an hour and a half later, and you can see that the color is already looking a little better, looking like it's getting cooked well. And yeah, just stirring it up for a bit, and then we'll be back in a bit. So about 5 hours in, I came and I used a hand blender. You don't really need to do this, you can just continue cooking it like that, but I see that this helps take out as much of the beef tallow out of it. And this is how it looks 10 hours later. It's pretty much done, so now we're just gonna add some hot water. Now once we strain it and it cools down, the water could go to the bottom of the bowl, and any impurities in the beef tallow sinks down to it, and it makes it a lot easier to remove. I got the bowl ready, and I have the cloth here, which I'm gonna use to strain it. And a little trick I saw was to flip the bag inside out. And that way the seam would be on the outside, so it doesn't get any of that residue on it. And then the inside, it's a lot easier to clean once you have to wash it. And we just start scooping. Okay, now that I put everything over here, just gonna go ahead and strain this out. And here you see me squeezing as much as I can. Just be careful because it's still a little bit hot, but it's doable. And just try to get as much as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now that I got a good amount out, just gonna let this cool down on the counter. And then once it cools down, then I'm gonna be moving it over to the fridge. Now that it has cooled down, I'm gonna put it in the fridge so it could get solid. Once it solidifies, I tried removing it out of the bowl in one piece, but it didn't let me, so I just ended up breaking it up. But it's okay. So see, the beef tallow separates from the water that it has. Any of the impurities falls to the bottom, and you're just gonna scrape it off at the back of the beef tallow, and then we're just gonna throw it in the crock pot again and render it out. So we could get any more of the impurities out of it. Here I just added a little bit of water so it could not like burn, and added some salt. Once it renders down, you can see it still has some impurities, so we're gonna strain it out again and let it cool down, and then put it in the fridge so it could solidify again, and then do it one more time. Then we're just gonna strain it again, and then I added a little bit more hot water so it could split again between the beef tallow and the water, and any impurities fall down to the water again. And once it cools down and put it in the fridge and it solidifies, then you take it out and it's already looking a lot more white compared to how it was. And then we're just going to remove it out of the bowl, and we're going to render it down one more time just to really remove any water, any moisture, any more impurities that it has. And here I was able to take it out in one piece, and the back of it still has a little bit of impurity, so we're just going to scrape that off. And the water is coming out a little bit more clear. We just want to render it one more time. Here we're just going to start scraping off the top, just the top layer that it has. Once you remove the top layer, you can see that it still has some moisture in it, so we're just going to render it down one more time. And again, to make it render faster, you just want to cut it into smaller pieces and throw it back in the crock pot. We're going to throw it on low heat again, and then this time we're not going to add any water, we're not going to add any salt, we're just going to let it cook out the rest of the water that it has inside. My assistant is finally up and ready to help. Once the beef tallow melts and it looks pretty clear, there's no more bubbling on it, it's pretty much ready and you're able to filter it now. And so here I just got a funnel, I got a coffee filter and my ladle, and just pouring it into a couple mason jars. I only fill it up about halfway, and here they are in the mason jar. I got two of them, and again I didn't fill them up all the way because I'm gonna be freezing these and they need space to expand.